Good afternoon. My name is Alex González, and I am responsible for customer experience in Latin America. Today, I have the enormous pleasure to introduce you with two of our key VPs that support Latin America and the rest of Cisco globally. So, here to my left is Emma. Emma Carpenter is Senior Vice President for Recurrent Revenue Acceleration. We also have Eric Knipp. Eric is responsible for customer experience for the Americas. So welcome, and thank you so much for taking time for today.
Thanks for having us.
Absolute pleasure. And Alex has actually worked for both of us, so that's the kind of interesting thing about this interview.
He survived it too, so that's
did
great.
survive.
Well
I'm
done.
a survivor, definitely. So I wanted to start with the key messaging that you are giving in the keynote. You both are making very clear that the AI era has arrived. We already have AI among us. With AI, companies are also being forced to change their architectures to support technology, data centers, technology, networking. In Latin America, with our diverse landscape in terms of technology, how would you think companies should prepare to take the best out of this wave?
Well, that's a great question, Alex. And again, we should think about the numbers. I mean, we're seeing in the United States alone up to $600 billion being invested by companies in AI infrastructure. And it's easy to get caught up in that hype of, I need to build these many GPUs, this much compute, this much network. But as the infrastructure provider, and trust me, I'm all about selling all of those things, we need to take a step back. And I think organizations need to start with asking a really fundamental question, which is, what are we trying to accomplish? Because AI, it is in and of itself an enabling technology, and it's there to help enable modern business. And I think specifically to Latin America, that holds tremendous progress. So if we think about the innovative spirit that really embodies, or that is embodied here in Latin America, and again, if it's any major technology transition, again, just looking at the mobile adoption as well, I think that it's clear that this region embraces new technology, and I think it's going to be a really key driver in driving economic growth here. But I want organizations to ask just some simple questions: is what are the boring things that we do? What are the repeatable tasks that we're doing, that our knowledge workers are doing, and is there an opportunity to optimize those? I think starting with that why then leads us to the what, and then that ultimately leads to the investments that we're going to make in data centers, in telcos, et cetera. And I think we'll see both. But understanding where we can optimize business practices is going to help drive efficiency in those AI investments.
Wow, thank you. Thinking about what you just said, there is one area that we hear a lot of promise about. Analysts say that 68% of customer experience, I mean, when you call centers, 68% of the times you're going to be interacting with some sort of AI. Sometimes agents, sometimes being guided through menus, etc., by AIs. Many are wondering, how are companies going to balance what AI can do for those kind of services with the human empathy that we all want? What is it that companies can do about it?
That is an absolutely fascinating question. It's one that is so important right now. Think about the magic that happens when you combine technology with people, right? That's where you accelerate things. That's where you have the opportunity to basically enable your people to get the best out of what they do. Because AI on its own is going to take us so far, but fundamentally, we need to make sure that there's a sense check on that AI, that we fundamentally make sure that when we're using it, that the results are going to be something that we can build on and use more of. And honestly, as Eric already said, the way to get acceleration is basically technology is going to transform the landscape out there. Why? Because it's no longer about how are you doing against another country or anything else, because AI is going to take that all away and say, we can get you there really quickly, but with the balance of having people make that empathetic decision on what is right and what needs to be adjusted to. And that's the beauty of the two together.
Yeah. If I could add to that, so our Cisco TAC organization, which is world-class, was a very early adopter of AI technologies. And again, to put numbers to this, The TAC organization handles about 1.5 million cases every year. 2/3 of those cases are touched by AI in some way. Now, some are directly resolving customer issues, simple queries, licensing questions, basic config, but we're leveraging AI to make our agents more efficient, and that's reducing the amount of handoffs, reducing the amount of time that we need to involve multiple agents, so that's directly resulting in an improved customer experience. So it's not about AI replacing, it's about AI augmenting and driving that efficiency.
And actually, sorry, he's getting me excited now because people and technology together are really powerful. If you actually make it very localized as well, let's look at LatAm. In the last quarter alone, 79% of the cases through TAC were initiated through an AI assistant. Why is that important? Because it gets you to more of those issues quickly, gets you the right technical resource to the right place with your customer, which at the end of the day, we're here to delight our customers. That's what it's all about. And so technology, AI specifically, is helping us get there faster.
That sounds great, but I would like to hear it from another angle. So Cisco is recognized as the kind of company you will talk to discuss your digital agendas, so how you're going to make your technical investments, what platforms you can adopt, etc. But you are talking about other type of business outcomes, which is basically how you can leverage AI to create value in your processes. So how can Cisco help customers with that area as well?
And maybe I'll go first and then you can add in. Honestly, when I think about where Eric and I came from, right? We came from the sales side of the house, from engineering in Eric's case, from a very technical capacity in my case, from a sales point of view. But when we came across, I think we were both impressed with, and you do this every day, Alex, but the difference in, and the difficulty in making sure we deliver on the promises from our customer is a real difference between what use cases, like what value does a customer want to get out of what we've sold to them in the first place, and actually how quickly we can help them realize that. And this is the beauty about where technology and people together allow us to get to that in a quicker basis, and it's really important for our success as we come forward. And I will tell you, understanding that clear set of use cases and then the ability to deliver, adopt, and really make sure that it's being utilized is why we talk about end-to-end plans and adoption plans being so critical in the cycle, basically.
Well, and if I could add to that, just as the very proud CCIE, 13337 is my number, and I've had it for almost 25 years now. But if I think about what we celebrated with the CCIE was the ability to be so flexible and address so many different challenges with the various configurations in iOS and what have you. And what that's resulted in is great flexibility, but it's also created in designs that are challenging to sustain. And one of the areas that I'm really impressed that we're driving within CX, and one of the areas that actually attracted me to this role, is this idea of leveraging services as code, where we are no longer trying to match config for config or iOS for iOS, but we're able to take the intent, as you said, of what the customer's trying to accomplish, leveraging the power of AI, instantiate that into configurations that can then scale and then monitor the network for that configuration drift. And why that matters, why this matters back to that business conversation we started with, is that 25 to 40% of network outages are caused by human error. And it's not because humans aren't smart. Again, we've got an entire family of certifications about making people smart. It's because these networks are reaching a level of complexity and we're reaching a level of scale that we're beyond human scale. So we need to leverage technologies like services as code, like agentic interfaces in order to scale that human capacity and human capital.
Hey, maybe I can go back to something you and I were talking about earlier though as well, because again, making it real in region here in LatAm. If you think about what Cisco Academy, Networking Academy has been doing to train from the ground up, you talked about CCIE and like that is such a powerful achievement, but we have trained nearly 7 million people in LatAm over the last few years. And honestly, when I think about that scale and that capability that's like building in all of the different countries in LatAm that's going to actually be there to help our customers, be in our customers, sometimes be in our partners to realize the value. That's pretty impressive, and that's something that we as Cisco feel incredibly proud to be able to do locally, and it is really important.
I can tell you we are very proud not only of that achievement, but also of the CX centers we have through the region and the thousands of professionals that are supporting customers not only in Latin America, but beyond in Americas. So we do have talent in the region. We're very proud of it.
Massive.
Yeah, we should be.
So to finish, if you both had to rescue one or 2 points out of the keynote that you would like to remark so we don't forget about them, what would you select?
Oh, ladies first.
Thank you. Time to value. Honestly, you think about that cycle of adopting the technology, adopting all of our software elements, wrapping around from a services point of view. Time to value is only going to increase with AI and with the great talent, to your point, that we have in this region that supports many different countries around the world.
Again, I've made it clear how much I love this region and the innovative spirit and energy that it brings, but I'm actually going to step back and quote our Chief Product Officer, Jeetu Patel. He said that there's 2 types of companies that we're going to see in the future. Those that embrace AI for differentiation and value, and those that struggle for relevance. I think the same could be said, or the same could be true for individuals as well. AI is an amazing technology that is going to be a great, I think it's going to level the playing field, and it's going to give individuals and organizations who haven't necessarily had equal access to technology scale, the scale of the entire human knowledge set. And again, I think we're just beginning that. So if I couple the incredible power that AI is going to bring organizations and individuals and the incredible innovative spirit of Latin America, I think Latin America, I'm going to make a prediction here, is going to be a hotbed of AI innovation over the next 5 years, and it's something I think everybody who is part of this region should be very proud to be part of.
We are, believe me. Emma, Eric, thank you so much for this interview. Thank you so much for your thoughts and reflections. Very much
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you, Alex.